Okay, looks
No,
like
doctor.
all clear. Okay.
okay. Let's use this paper.
exercise 2 مبين صعب.
Okay, so let's do this second example. And what I have here is that the motor lifts this 50 kilogram crate with an acceleration of 6 meters per second square. We need to find the components of the reaction, force reaction, and then a couple moment at the fixed support at A. So this guy is going with 6 meters per second square. We need to find the transverse load and then the bending moment. You guys are familiar with the bending moment, right? That would occur. Okay. Okay. Can you help me? How can I find?
Doctor?
How should I do this?
دكتور
Yes.
في حدا عم يحكي لي قال لي انه بالويتنج ليست هو عم بالميتنج.
Oh, okay. Yep. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. All right. So this problem, okay, back to it. So here the motor is lifting this crate with acceleration of 6 meters per second square. I need to find the bending moment هون will shear load at A. How can I find that?
بس دكتور قصده رح يكون عنا reaction في horizontal صح؟
I'm not sure. So can you help me out?
Doctor, I think I remember is it's a fixed support. لازم يكون في reaction horizontal و vertical و bending moment.
Exactly. Yes. Okay. So how do we analyze this problem? Maybe we can find the reaction at B first,
at
right?
B أول شيء.
Yes, at B.
So basically we have a beam and it has a pulley, right? And then there is one force on it like that, and then there is another force on it like that, right? You guys agree?
Yes, doctor.
Yes.
Okay, what is the tension in the cable?
We
mg.
can do, it's M times G plus A.
It is M
Yeah, plus
multiplied
ma.
by mg plus A. Why is that? Because you can draw it by a diagram. T
Long upland.
mg
مش هيدا أنجو.
ma, right? So T is equal to mg plus ma. Okay, so I have T and then T. So what is, if I were to do a free body diagram on this, so it has two forces applied on it like that, right? So here, what I have here, I have Rx, I have Ry, and I have a moment, right? How can I find Rx on this beam?
Sum of the forces.
We sum the forces in the x direction.
You sum the forces in the x direction. What do you get if you sum the forces in the x direction on the beam?
T cosine theta. T cosine 30.
Okay, so you put the forces على البيم ما هيك؟ هل
Yes.
all tensions are part of the beam basically, right? Is the beam accelerating or moving or no?
No.
No, so I'm gonna put only the forces. The other diagram will have zero. By the way, in your static course, guys, you only deal with this part. You don't deal with this part, right?
Yes.
Dynamics, it's like we're doing both static and also dynamics. Okay, so summing the forces, what do I get here?
Rx
Yep,
T
is equal
cosine 30.
Rx plus what?
T cosine 30.
Plus T cosine 30. Okay.
Equal to 0.
Equal to 0, exactly. So we have Rx is equal to how much? Minus T cosine 30, right? Which is minus basically mg plus A cosine 30. Why do I have a minus sign?
Because it should be in the opposite way to zero state.
Yeah, exactly. Guys, whole forces هن شو whole external forces that the wall applies on the beam, right? احنا when we say some of the forces قصدنا external forces applied on that rigid body, right? اللي هو البيم هون. So whole force Rx is the force that the wall is applying on the beam to keep it in place, ما هيك؟ Whole forces are the force that the pulley is actually applying on the beam. Does that make sense? So the wall basically have to apply a force like that, right, to keep it in the x direction. Otherwise, it will slide to the right. Okay, summing the forces, external forces on the beam in the y direction, what do you get?
Ry minus t minus t sine 30 is equal to 0.
Is equal to 0. Okay, is that true or no? Well, we still need
Yes,
to know. Well, if I gave you هون ما أعطونا weight of the beam. If they gave you the weight of the beam, right? Then you have to incorporate that, right? إذا أعطيتك the weight of the beam, how does that change?
Yes, بنزيد
We
minus
need to add it.
You need to add it exactly because the wall is also holding the weight of the beam, right? In addition to these loads. So Ry minus T minus S minus mg is equal to 0. Okay, هون here is 0. So Ry is equal to T 1 plus sine 30. And that's it, right? How about the moment?
it's force in the y direction times the distance.
Exactly. So what is the moment in this case?
td
Okay, let me show
t
you how.
times
Okay, so you can sum the moments, just like what we
T
summed.
times 4 or T
like-
sine
Yeah, just like
30
what,
times 4.
like what we did with the forces, we can sum the moments, okay? And then I can assume a positive direction for the moments, all right? So will this guy be in a positive or opposite direction that what I assumed?
Positive.
Positive.
Also, it's going to be M. How about Rx? Will Rx create any moment?
No.
No.
Okay, by the way, when we sum the moment will always have to be about a point, okay? So when I'm summing
Yes.
the moments about point O, right? Not really a point, it's an axis. So when you sum the moments, you sum an axis, okay? So Rx not will mg create any moment?
yes.
It's
Yes.
0.
mg will 0 لا it will be minus ما هيك؟
minus mg times 2.5 اللي هو middle of the beam
exactly minus
times 2 مش 2.5.
خلينا نسمي هيدا نسميها what do we wanna it's called m0 the mass of the object so we don't get confused يعني نحن سمينا الm هي المومنت right so m هي المومنت so m0g مظبوط times l over 2 why because the weight is in the opposite direction and the moment that I assume how about these two is that guy is in a positive or negative
Negative. Both are negative.
minus t times l how about this guy
Minus t sine 30 times L.
exactly minus t sine 30 times l how about the how about the x component will it create any moment
0.
0.
No.
I assume this is negligible right? It's equal to 0 another way of doing that is you can extend the header line you can find the header distance okay right so you can find the moment that way so this would be the moment Adam t multiplied by this guy but what is this distance from here to here
It's the same thing 4 كمان يمكن.
it will be what so نحن
The same
هون
distance as the beam.
نحن ضربنا هون
4
t
sine 30.
it will be sure it will be yeah exactly L sine 30 you go back to the same thing right you
Fourth.
can force or you could multiply this guy by the moment arm تبعي اللي هي هيدي اللي هي it becomes what L sine 30 right why is it sine 30 لأنه إذا هيدا 30 right
We have a right triangle, yes.
30 right so L sine 30 right هيدا 30 L sine 30 okay guys so I think we're done for our lecture today keep doing the assignments keep doing the assignments and I'm gonna be basically posting more lectures remotely I will be actually traveling next week and I'll be basically on a separate time zone basically I'll be like 8 hours ahead so what I'll do is maybe actually difficult for us to do the meetings at this time because I'll be in the US time so I will either have to pre-record the lectures or we will have to agree on a time that we'll all meet basically in the afternoon do you guys have any courses at like 6 o'clock or you're able to meet at
يس
6
دكتور عنا كورس فيها تكون بري ريكوردد لانه عنا كورس بعد الظهر.
Okay, in that case, yes, it will be pre-recorded if we are unable to install. But we can stay in touch. So in the meantime, make sure I think at this point we at least got the fundamentals, how this course is going to be set up. And I think if you understand what we did today, really that will be like a a very good projection of how the course will actually be done. So most of the lectures will be pre-recorded, but what I will do is I will actually keep the possibility for some of you to actually get it. You know, I will see maybe I can do it at 7 o'clock p.m. Lebanon time, which will also work on my end, basically. We can do the live lecture at 7 p.m. if some of you would like to join it. If not, then you can just watch the pre-recorded lecture. Okay, guys, so we're good. We're done for today. Any questions on this?
No, doctor.
Clear, doctor.
Thank you, doctor.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you, Doctor.